Ladies and gentlemen, volleyball family and volleyball friends, welcome to the drawing of lots of 2023 CEV European Cups. Now this year we have 216 teams, a record-breaking number from 37 national federations who have registered to compete in the CEV Champions League, the CEV Cups, and also the CEV Challenge Cups. Now, this is really mind-blowing considering the challenges that we've faced this year, but despite those challenges, volleyball have seemed to go from strength to strength. Now, before I go any further, it is my pleasure to introduce to you my colleague and also my very, very good friend of 10 years, Federico Fedrado, and he is the CEV Press Officer.
Thank you, Narisha, for the very nice introduction. It's my pleasure to be co-hosting this drawing of lots together with you. I have to say it feels like yesterday when we finished the season 2022 with the superfinals in Ljubljana, and it's actually just a few weeks ago. But the excitement is already mounting and the teams can't wait to return to competition and to the international stage. And the numbers that you have mentioned are literally mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is very, very mind-blowing. And Federico, despite those numbers, and besides those numbers, we also have some very exciting news for our viewers and our volleyball family.
Yes, I would like to start with some news concerning the CEV Champions League, our elite competition for clubs. And we have the addition of one round, which is called the playoff. And this will be contested at the end of the pool phase of the competition, in between the end of the pool phase and the quarterfinals. So the 5 pool winners will continue straight from round 4 to the quarterfinals. And this playoff round will involve the 5 teams finishing second in their pool and the team that finishes third with the best result. What does that mean, dear Narisha? It means that we have more opportunities for the teams to play high-level matches and also more opportunities for the fans to watch volleyball at its finest and more opportunities to root for your favorite team.
Federico, I'm impressed with how you just explained that all in one breath. Yes, you are correct. But before we move on with the drawing of lots, we have some highlights featuring some very special moments from the last season, moving forward to the next event.
A new Champions League volley season is starting soon. Beginning with the early rounds. Continuing to fight. To qualify for the group stages. And beyond. Who will challenge who?
Now, Federico, this is our 3rd year hosting the drawing of lots here in the Broadcasting Center in the middle of Luxembourg. And we are very fortunate to normally have some superstar volleyball players with us to assist us in the drawing of lots. And this year we have a really, really special guest. She's actually freshly crowned champion of the Champions League for the women. And she's also the captain of Vakif Bank Istanbul. I would like to introduce Melis Gurkaynach. Hi, Melis. Nice to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, well, you look very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, in my eyes. So, Melis, now you've won the Champions League several times, and my question for you is, what does that feel like to win more than one time, you know?
Yeah. As a Vakif Bank, it's our 5th cup, which we won in Slovenia. So it's a very big proud of us as a club, also as a country, also as a player, the team captain of the Vakif Bank. So I'm very happy and proudly.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're happy to have you here with us.
Thank you also.
Yeah, it's nice, Narisha, to have some elite players joining us on the stage, and it's also nice that they have the opportunity to do something off the court to help us promote the sport, which is the name of the game at the end of the day.
That's right.
So Melis will be assisting us today with the draw for the Champions League and also for the CEV Cup. It will be then your turn to draw the Challenge Cup at the very end of today's program. We start with the Men's Champions League and with the early rounds. We do have some charts to show to the people following from home so that we summarize a little bit where we stand and what is next. We start with the first round where we have already seeded 4 teams. Those are the higher-ranked federations among those due to play the first round. And we do have a number of unseeded teams, so representing the lower-ranked national federations. And there is also a bye, as you can see, which means that one team will have a lucky draw, so to speak, and they will be moving to the second round without contesting any matches. To the very right of this chart, you have already the seeded teams for the second round, but we will talk about this in a moment. So let's get started, Melis. We need your help. And we start with the DOL for the first round of the Men's Champions League. As you can see, the 4 seeded teams have been placed in such a way that they will be playing the second match at home. That's courtesy of the ranking of their national federation. And to play against the Austrian team of Aichtop, we have Budva of Montenegro. So we continue now with the next team, Dinama Apeldoorn of the Netherlands. They are waiting to know the name of their rivals.
And they will find out soon.
And this is how their European journey will begin. You can see the dates, end of September, so it's not that long time to wait.
Right around.
And it's Strumica of North Macedonia. A special welcome to this team, as they are the very first team from this country to play in the Champions League. So they are breaking new ground and making history.
And making history, exactly.
The next seeded team is Hebar Pasarczyk of Bulgaria. So let's see who they will be playing against in the first round. And that's the lucky draw that we spoke about just a little while ago. So they will be moving on to the second round without playing any matches in the first round. Last but not least, so Lindaren Volley Amresville of Switzerland is already seeded in position 8. And Narisha, now we will find out who their opponent will be. And there is Mladost Brčko of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you, Melis. That's just the beginning of your duties for today. So we just finalized the draw for the first round. The 4 winners, including Pasarczyk, that will be moving on without playing any matches, will continue their journey in the second round, where we have already seeded 4 teams, those representing the higher-ranked national federations. And eventually, the winners of the second round fixtures will continue their journey into the third round. This is where, Narisha, Melis, 2 tickets will be at stake to join 18 elite teams already seated in the 4th round group stage of the Champions League. So everything is clear as far as the early rounds of the Men's Champions League is concerned.
That's right, and that concludes the men's round. And if you are wondering when the 4th round is going to take place, that will be on the 16th of September in an iconic location, which we will give you the information in the near future. But until then, we will move on to the women's drawing of lots.
Yes, so we continue with the Champions League, but we move to the women's competition.
Yes.
And so again, we have a nice chart that helps us summarize where we stand and what is coming up next. In the first round, we have 4 seeded teams. Again, according to the ranking of their respective national federation, which I do remind everyone takes into account the results achieved by teams of their federation over the last 3 years preceding the season that was just completed. So the season 21-22 doesn't count yet towards the ranking. And we have 4 unseeded teams, which are representing the lower-ranked national federations. So Melis will be helping us define, what the fixtures in the first round will be looking like.
I'm excited to find out.
As you can see on the charts, the 4 seeded teams have been placed in such a way that they will be playing the second match at home, the return match at their home. Calcit Kamnik of Slovenia is the first seeded team in position number 2. And they will be playing against their neighbors from Croatia, Mladost Zagreb. So it's a short journey for the teams, but also for the fans if they want to follow the team and actually cheer them on.
And I'm sure the players are happy that they don't have to travel so far.
The next seeded team is a newcomer from Finland, Pölkki Kuusamo. They play Champions League for the first time in history, so they are also breaking new ground. And let's see who their rivals in the opening round of the Women's Champions League will be.
And we have a welcome gift for them, and
it is Crvena Zvezda Beograd of Serbia. So the Serbian team will be hosting the first match and then travel to Finland for the return game. The next seeded team is Bimal Jedinstvo Brčko of Bosnia and Herzegovina. So we now define their opposition for the first round, and that's Tenerife La Laguna of Spain. To conclude the DOL for the first round, we have the last seeded team, Vasas Óbuda Budapest of Hungary. That's pretty obvious according to the list, but we have to make sure that everything is processed according to the rules. And there is VDK Gent Dames of Belgium. So everything is done for the first rounds. And now, because we have a number of surprises in store today, Norisha, I started with the announcement of this additional round we have in the Champions League. But let me just explain what is going to happen in the Women's Champions League once the first round is played.
Okay.
Obviously, the winners, the 4 winners, will continue on to the second round. And actually, from the second round, the winners of those matches will move on straight on to the 4th round. That's because one national federation that had a slot in the 4th round didn't use it, didn't take it. So instead of qualifying 2 teams from the early rounds to have 20 in the group stage, we have to qualify 3. So the 2 winners of the second round matches will be going on to the 4th round, and the 2 losers will have one last call, so to speak, and they will be playing home and away matches in the 3rd round for one last ticket, coveted ticket at stake to join the elite of European volleyball in the group stage. I hope everything is clear, but as I will be repeating many times today, all of this information will be available on the CV website once the DOL has finished for people to have a better understanding of who is who and what is going to happen at each stage of the competition.
But I think you're doing a really excellent job of thoroughly
Norisha.
explaining every detail, Federico. Really.
So as you said, Norisha, the DOL for the 4th round will be on the 16th of September.
That's right. And the same will also be for the women's drawing of lots. So their 4th round will also be on the 16th of September. As I said, in an iconic location, which we will announce later on, not today, but in the future. And it will also be parallel to the gala, to the CEV Gala 2022-23 Gala. So now that we have completed the drawing of lots for the Champions League and they know their destinies, now we can move on to the CEV Cup's drawing of lots. But before we do so, let's take a look at a trailer with some highlights of some really great moments from the last season.
Tough matches are coming. The players will do everything to keep the ball in play. From the very first serve to the end of the match.
Now for the CEV Cup, now Melise and Federico, the defending champions, will not be returning, which means that opens up 2 spots for 2 new teams to come in and take that title.
That's correct, Norisha, because Jachibashi, who won the CEV Cup Women last year, they have moved up to play Champions League, and I'm sure that their fans are very happy with that perspective. But that means that they will not be able to defend their title in the CEV Cup. And just to give you an idea of how competitive volleyball is in Europe, the defending champions in the men's CEV Cup, Vero Volley Monza, didn't even qualify for the European Cups. So that shows them in the level of competition their teams have to face just to get the right to play internationally and to take to the European stage.
So it sounds like we're going to have some really, really competitive and good volleyball this year.
Which is also good because we have now definitely a new champion in both the men's and the women's CEV Cups, so there is an opportunity for other teams to shine. So, Melise, we need your help again. And actually, the men's CEV Cup, we start with that competition, is the only one today where we have 2 draws. So the interest is so massive that we have to start with the 32nd finals. And this is a stage where we have already seeded 7 teams. And these will have to play against teams coming down from the early rounds of the Champions League. We will then continue with the second draw for the 16 finals, but I will discuss these in a moment. So let's move on and let's get started with the draw for the 32nd finals of the men's CEV Cup.
All right.
So those 7 seeded teams have been placed in such a way that they will be playing the return matches at home. And we start with draw from top to bottom with the team that is due to play Crvena Zvezda Beograd of Serbia. So, Norisha, there will be the loser in the first round of the Champions League matches 7 and 8. That sounds a little bit enigmatic because, I mean, we will have to wait for the completion of the first round of the Champions League to know the name of this team. But if you go back then to the CV website at the end of the DL, you will be able to understand which teams are actually involved in those 2 matches, 7 and 8. And that's the same for all of the teams that we are drawing out of this cup.
That's right. So the viewers will have a broader understanding once they see the big picture.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So now to play against SVG Lüneburg of Germany. And these are the losers of the Champions League matches 1 and 2 in the first round. Next seeded team is Mursa Osijek of Croatia. And they will be playing against another team coming down from the Champions League early rounds. And this will be the loser of the matches 3 and 4 in round 1. Calcit Kamnik of Slovenia, they have 2 teams. Actually, we saw the women's team is due to play Champions League. Their men's team will be in the CEV Cup. So now let's find out who their rivals will be at the beginning of this European journey. Also coming down from the Champions League, the loser of matches 9 and 10. Then the next seeded team is a club with plenty of history and success and a lot of trophies in their cabinet, and it's PGE Skra Bełchatów of Poland.
Yes.
Melis, please go ahead.
Thank you, Melis.
So this Polish team will be playing against another side coming down from the Champions League early rounds, and it will be the loser of the matches 11 and 12, so from the second round. The next seeded team is Radnički Kragujevac of Serbia. We have 2 teams left in this cup. And again, it will be a team coming down from the second round, in this case, of the Champions League. And it will be the eventual loser of matches 13 and 14. Finally, the last seeded team for this first draw is TSV Hersching of Germany.
Germany.
And they will also start their quest for glory in a match against the loser of the Champions League matches 15-16, so coming down from the second round. And again, Risha, I will not get tired of repeating this, but this chart may look a little bit enigmatic for now, but as soon as we complete rounds 1 and 2 in the Champions League, then those teams will know which team they will be playing in their opening stage of the CEV Cup. Second row, we stay with the CEV Cup men, so we continue, and it is for the 16 finals. We do have, as you can see here, 16 teams already seeded. They have been seeded according to the ranking of the national federation. So the more the teams achieve success on the international stage, the better it is also for those to follow in their footsteps, because they will have a more favorable position in the coming season. So we start and we draw again from top to bottom, and in this cup we obviously have also the winners of the 32nd finals that we just did draw a moment ago. Melis, it's your turn again.
Melis, you're doing a really great job.
Thank you.
We start with the team due to play Lycurgus Groningen of the Netherlands, and it is the winner of matches 7 and 8 in the previous round of the CEV Cup. Dinamo Bucuresti of Romania is the next seeded team.
And that team will be?
And it is the winner of matches 3 and 4 in the previous round of the CEV Cup. Next is a Turkish team with a lot of history and success, Arkas Izmir. So they will be playing Karur Volley Gent of Belgium. The Belgians will be hosting the first match and then travel to Turkey for the return game. Now, next seeded team is Modena Volley. Probably there are very few teams with such a rich history in international volleyball and such a long history, and that shows the level of the CEV Cup, Nourisha, as we try to raise the level of all European Cups, and that speaks for itself.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So, Melis, please go ahead. Who is going to host the Italian team and then travel to Italy in the 16 finals of the CEV Cup? That is the loser from the Champions League third round. So Modena will have to wait for a while before they know which team they get to play.
Well, patience is a virtue, Federico.
That is true. So next seeded team is Union Raiffeisen Waldviertel of Austria. Let's see if we do already know the name of the team or if we have to wait for completion of other rounds. And it's Galatasaray Istanbul of Turkey. So the Turkish team will be hosting the Austrians first and then travel to Austria for the return match.
Very nice pronunciation, Federico.
Thank you.
Better you say the names of the team than me.
Let's see if I can carry on with this until the end. So the next seeded team is Chenois Genève of Switzerland. And they will be playing against Dukla Liberec of the Czech Republic. Now, before we continue the draw, let me just spend a couple of words, Nourisha, Melis, about Narbonne Volley from France. They play in the CEV Cup this year, but last year they were a sensation as in what was their first appearance in the European Cups, they won the Challenge Cup. So that was, at their very first shot, they immediately lifted the trophy, and now they are back for more glory contesting the CEV Cup this year.
That's what we call making a grand entrance.
That is true. That is very true. So after this little introduction, Melis, we can continue the draw. So Narbonne will be playing against another French team. So it's a derby with Arago de Sète.
So two home rivalries,
That is correct. So they will be extending their home rivalry to the international stage. And we have another French team seated next, Chaumont VB 152. And they will be playing against the winner of matches 9 and 10 in the CEV Cup 32nd finals. Partizan Beograd of Serbia is now waiting to know the name of their first rivals in the CEV Cup 2022.
Well, they don't have to wait any longer. And that team is, Federico, Melis?
That is the winner of the matches from the previous round of the CEV Cup. And I believe it's 13-14.
Yep, 13-14.
We have now a team with a lot of history as well, represented in the CEV Cup. We just said we are raising the level of the CEV Cup, and Grignard Mosaic from Belgium is definitely a team that helps us achieving this goal. Melis, please go ahead.
You look beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to hear.
And they will be playing against the loser from the third round of the Champions League. So they also have to show a little patience until they know which team they will be playing to begin with. We have Fino Kaposvár of Hungary seated next.
I can feel my shoulders getting stronger and stronger.
For sure.
And it's still a long way to go. So they will be playing against Volley Schönenwert of Switzerland. We are slowly but surely completing the grid for the 16 finals of the CEV Cup men. Next seeded one is Jihostry České Budějovice of the Czech Republic. And they will be playing against winner of matches 5 and 6 in the CEV Cup 32nd finals. Savo Volley Kuopio of Finland is seeded next. We are approaching the end of this draw, but we have the last 4 teams to draw.
Yes, and we can actually see the bottom of the glass. So
to play against the Finnish team, it's the winner of matches 1 and 2 in the previous round of the CEV Cup. Neftochimik Burgas of Bulgaria is next in our bracket, and waiting to know the name of their opposition in the 16 finals. So they will be playing against the winner of matches 11 and 12 in the previous round of the CEV Cup.
We have two more teams left.
Yes, next to last among those seeded, VK Lvi Praha of the Czech Republic. They will be playing against Gas Sales Blue Energy Piacenza of Italy. And last but not least, as the highest ranked team, Fenerbahce HDI Istanbul of Turkey. So their rival in the early stages of the CEV Cup will be SCM Craiova of Romania. Thank you, Melis. Thank you, Nurisha. So that concludes the draw for the CEV Cup men. At this stage, I should say that the road is set all the way until the finals, but that's not the case because, as I said at the beginning, we have plenty of surprises. And there is one more round in the CEV Cup as well, which has been added for the 2023 edition, which means that there will be 4 teams coming down from the pool stage of the Champions League. I mean, their adventure in the Champions League, will be over, but they will be continuing to search for glory in the CEV Cup, and they will be playing there against the winners of the playoff round in the CEV Cup itself. So there is a lot of interconnections, there is a lot of excitement, I believe, and many opportunities for the players to play high-level matches and for the fans to enjoy volleyball of the highest level.
And let's not forget, there are a lot of surprises today and a lot of good news, right? We can't forget that.
So Melis is still on duty for the CEV Cup Women drawing of lots. We have one draw only, unlike in the men's competition where we had 2. So the competition will start directly with the 16 finals. And this is the list that you can see now of the teams that we will have to draw, including those coming down from the Champions League early rounds, first and third, because the losers of the second round will be continuing to the third round. It's a little bit strange, I understand, but that's the way it is for this year. But it is important for you to understand that there is an interconnection between the Champions League and the CEV Cup, and this brings the level even higher.
Higher than,
So 16 teams already seated in the 16 finals of the CEV Cup Women as well, always courtesy of the ranking of their respective national federations. And with these, they have the privilege and the advantage, so to speak, to be playing the return matches at home. So 16 teams to draw out of this cup, and Melis, it's your turn again. We draw, as usual, from top to bottom, and the first team out of this cup will be playing against Olympiakos Piraeus of Greece, and that's the loser of the Champions League third round matches 13-14. To play against Kralovo Pole Brno of the Czech Republic now. There is PAOK Thessaloniki of Greece. The next seeded team is Marina Castella of Croatia. And they will be starting their journey in this competition playing Szent Benedek Balatonfüred of Hungary. So it's a short journey for the players and for the fans, hopefully, as well. Now, next seeded team is Pays d'Aix Venelle of France.
Thank you. And that team?
They will be playing against Dukla Liberec of the Czech Republic. The Belgian team of WC Oegdegem is the next seeded one. We are slowly moving from the top to the bottom of this grid, of this chart. So the Belgians will be playing against the Spanish team of Socollamos. And now, Nurisha, a team that is very close to your heart, Volero Zurich of Switzerland, as you did play there for a while.
I did. You know, I get emotional when I see Volero.
So, Melis, let's define which team they will be playing against in the 16 finals of the CEV Cup.
All right, Volero. Oh. This would happen to my favorite, And
they will be playing against the loser from the first round of the Champions League. So they have to wait for a little while until they know what the journey will be looking like. CV Gran Canaria of Spain is the next seeded team.
And their opponents will be?
Their opponents will be... Oh, that's a lucky draw. That's a bye. That's a pleasant surprise for the Spanish team. So they will be continuing their journey on to the 8 finals without playing any matches.
Wow. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Then we have a newcomer from Romania, CEST Voluntari 2005, which is the next seeded team. We are almost halfway through this draw. And they will be playing Budowlani Łódź of Poland. LP Kangasala of Finland is next on the line as they have been seeded, so they will be playing the return match at home. And they will start by playing a loser of the Champions League first round matches 1 and 2. As I said many times already, but let's repeat it. All of the information will be available on the CV website at the end of the drawing of lots for those who want to cross-check and see who is who.
Exactly. Don't worry, we're not getting tired of you repeating that.
So we continue now with the former champion, or actually the defending champion of the Challenge Cup, Savino del Bene Scandicci. They will not be able to defend their title in their competition because they are contesting the CV Cup this year. So, Melis.
Melis, their fate lies in your hands. Yeah. And
so the Italians will be playing against Galatasaray Istanbul of Turkey. Well, this sounds like a very exciting couple of matches to start the season with. Then Željezničar Lajkovac of Serbia is next. They have been seated in position number 22. And they will be playing against the German team of SSC Palmberg Schwerin. We have a Hungarian team seated in the next position. It's Svietelski Bekes Csabai.
we're getting there. We have 4 more.
Yes, almost done with the CV Cup draw. And they will be playing against the losers of Champions League first round matches 5 and 6. The last 4 seeded teams, we begin with Nova KBM Branik Maribor of Slovenia. So they will also have to wait for the Champions League early rounds to be completed to know the name of their opposition. Dresdner SC of Germany, a highly decorated team, is next among the seeded teams, position number 28. So they will be playing against the Italian team of Yamamai Iwork Bustorsizio. That sounds like a very exciting couple of matches to begin the season with as well.
Very.
Now our neighbors, we're in Luxembourg, and Terville is right next door, so to speak, Terville-Florange of France. They are waiting to know how their European journey will be beginning, and they are due to play.
And that team will be...
is VK Olomouc of the Czech Republic. Last but not least, a team that Melis herself knows very well from her own experiences on the court. THY Istanbul, they played Champions League last year. Now they are back in the CV Cup. And that's the last ball to draw out of this cup to complete the grid for the CV Cup 16 finals. And that's Viteos Neuchâtel UC of Switzerland. Thank you, Melis. So as you can see, the draw is finished for the CEV Cup 16 finals in the women's competition. But again, this is not exactly the road all the way to the final because we have this additional round which has been added. So there is a lot of excitement that you can share with us. And I believe we have plenty of exciting matches to look forward to already with the early rounds, as you could see from the results of this draw.
That's right. That's right. Now that concludes the drawing for the CEV Cup, and you did a good job.
I feel a little bit
Melis.
stressful, but if I do this,
Really?
good,
No, you did it good.
happy to hear.
You did a really good job. But Melis, now after, it was right after the super finals, or shortly after the super finals, you did announce your retirement. How does that feel? Have you has it settled in yet, or?
It's not easy, of course, also
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I know how it is.
I was playing volleyball all my life, so now I quit.
Yeah.
I try to adapt my new life.
Yeah.
Hope it will be not very long, so...
Yeah. I mean, and to not have to just try to schedule everything before practice time, you know, and actually have a... You can now go to birthday invitations and when you get invitations for weddings, you can attend now because you have so much time.
I have time.
Don't forget to invite me to
Of
a
course,
barbecue.
always.
You know I like to
Both
eat.
of
Y'all
you,
know I
of
like
course.
to eat.
For sure.
And what would you tell the young players who are competing in the European Cups? What would be your advice to them? Because you have a lot of history. You've been down this road more than one time. So what would you tell them?
It's not easy to say specific things about it. Just I know the Vakıfbank's way. I know how to be a champion with Vakıfbank. So I can say that as a Vakıfbank, we are working hard. Maybe it's very typical things also to say, but it's really success to key of the success.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I can advise to work a lot, and also to young players, I can say that they need to be objective to themselves. First of all, they need to understand what they want to do for their future, and if they decided to be a volleyball player, professional volleyball player, they need to hard worker.
Yeah, good. This is good advice. Really
Thank
good
you.
advice. I wish I would have had that advice when I was playing. No, Elise, I have to say it was a pleasure to watch you play in person, like live in Ljubljana, and it's also a pleasure to get to know you here. And thank you very much for your contribution and for assisting us.
And we wish you all the best for your second life now, for your life off the volleyball court. But we are sure that you will be sticking with volleyball and you will always be loyal to the volleyball family and a member of the volleyball family.
That's right.
Thank you. Also, it's my dream. I really want to involve volleyball family because I like a lot. So hopefully I can.
Good.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I borrow those pants?
Of
No,
course,
just kidding. They're
anyone.
long.
I will take your dress too.
Okay, we switch. Thank
Thank
you,
you, ciao.
Malise.
Thank
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
So, Narisha, we are not done yet because...
We are moving on to the CEV Challenge Cup. Now that the teams from the CEV Cup, they know their destination and how it's going to go. But before we move on, let's take a look at a trailer with some really, really good highlights and moments.
Volleyball is not just a game. It is a team effort. Teammates will fight until the end. To emerge victorious.
Now, Federico, we're about to start with the Men's Challenge Cup. But before you do, can you give us a brief explanation of how this works?
Well, as with the CEV Cup, actually the defending champions are not in the competition this year because they have moved from the Challenge Cup to the CEV Cup. That applies to the men's winners, Narbonne Volley, and also to Savino del Bene Scandici, who won the Challenge Cup, the Women's Challenge Cup last year. So that leaves the door open, for other teams, to go and to vie for glory and international glory, which is always a very prestigious thing to reward, your supporters and also your sponsors with. We start with the Challenge Cup men, and as you said at the very beginning, with 216 teams registered across all cups, that means that we start the competition with the 30-second finals. That explains, why, we have so many teams and why we have so many rounds, but I think this is good news for volleyball and this is good news for our volleyball family as well.
I think so too, and it shows that the popularity of volleyball is growing and increasing, and the demand to play the sport is also increasing.
So it's your turn now to draw, Narisha, and we have the draw for the 30-second finals, where we have already seeded 16 teams. These teams were seeded according to the ranking of the National Federation. And as we did with the previous competitions, those that you can already see on the chart will be playing the return matches at home. So now, Narisha, it's your turn to draw, and we go from top to bottom, and let's find out who plays who.
Okay. Stretch my fingers, get my fingers ready.
To play against Luboteni Ferizaj of Kosovo, we have Maccabi Tel Aviv of Israel. The next seeded team is Biogas Volley Nefels of Switzerland.
You know, Freddie.
So, they will be playing against PAOK Thessaloniki of Greece. So this is a very tough rival and a club with a lot of history and success to play against the Swiss team of Nefels. Omonia Nicosia of Cyprus is next on the list, seeded team in position 6.
I can feel my shoulder muscles growing and growing by the minute.
So to play against Nicosia is McDonald's Redim Innkreis of Austria. We did just draw an Austrian team, and we have another one, which is seeded next, VCA Amstetten NÖ.
Okay.
And they will be playing against Hapoel Yoav Kfar Saba of Israel. We slowly but surely move from the top to the bottom of this grid. We have Mirat Peu Prešov of Slovakia seeded next. And they have a bye, so also a lucky draw, so they will move on to the next round without playing any matches.
Whenever I see these buys, I hear, bye, bye, bye.
So Ponte Bastardo of Portugal is seeded next, position number 12. And they will be playing against the Webster Cup winner. So, Narisha, let me just have a short explanation.
Is this another surprise?
Well, for the first time in history, the Western European Volleyball Zonal Association, this is what WEVSA stands for, are organizing a club competition. And the eventual winner of that competition will have the right to play in the Challenge Cup. And they will be starting their journey against Ponte Bastardo of Portugal in the 32nd finals.
Wow, this is good news.
More teams, more opportunities to play, more chances to shine.
I like that combination.
So Merkur Maribor of Slovenia, they played Champions League last year. This time they play the Challenge Cup, and they will be playing against the Ukrainian team of Epicentr Podolyani Horodok. The next seeded team represents Estonia. It's Pärnu VC.
Very nicely said. Okay.
So the Estonian team will be starting their journey and they also have a lucky draw, so a bye. So they will be moving on to the 16 finals without playing any matches.
Bye, bye, bye. Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Then we have SK Tirana of Albania, the only Albanian team contesting the European Cups this coming season. We have moved now to the second half of this chart. And to play against Tirana, we have Riker Komarno of Slovakia. This is a team that made history last year by playing Champions League, the first team from Slovakia to do so in the Men's Champions League.
Wow. Way to make history, huh?
Yeah. Deja Volley Burgas of Bulgaria is the next seeded team in this chart. They will be playing against Guaguas Las Palmas of Spain. We have an Israeli team next. We did already have a couple. Now this one is seeded, Hapoel Mate Asher Akko.
And they will play against, drum roll please.
They will be playing against AON's Milon Athens of Greece.
And this team has a lot of history and it's been around for quite some
The
time.
next seeded team are the Finnish Tigers, so to speak, Tiikerit Kokkola. So who is going to host the Finnish team and then travel to Finland? Narisha, your turn again.
I'm starting to see the bottom of the bowl, which means we're getting close to
So to play against Kokkola, we have Panvita Pomgrad-Murska Sobota of Slovenia. Now, for the next round, Risha, we have some tension in the room because we have a representative of the Luxembourgish club of Strossen here. So it's your turn and we will find out how their journey is going to begin.
Let's see.
So to play against the multiple national champions of Luxembourg, the volleyball club Strossen.
Oh.
That is their domestic rivals, Volley-ball.
That's going to be a good game.
Next is Murav Baku of Azerbaijan, the only Azerbaijani team contesting men's competition this season. Norisha, please go ahead. And that is Kitro Varaždin of Croatia. Last two teams left, 2 seeded and 2 to be drawn. We start with Viking Thief Bergen of Norway. They are seeded in position number 30.
And they will play against Federico.
There will be the BVA Cup winner, and again, little details next to this. So these are the winners of the zonal competition organized by the Balkan Volleyball Association. This competition is due to take place by mid-September. So by mid-September, also Bergen will know which team they will be playing as they begin their journey in the Challenge Cup 2023. Last but not least, Panathinaikos Athens of Greece was already seeded.
Yes.
A team with a lot of history and tradition and success over the years. They will be playing Spartak Mijava of Slovakia. Thank you, Norisha. This concludes the drawing of lots for the 32nd finals of the Challenge Cup. The 16 winners of this round will continue their journey into the 16 finals. And this is where we have already seeded another 16 teams. Those 16 teams represent the higher-ranked national federations. And then the winners, as we just said, of the 32nd finals will continue on to the 16 finals. I don't want to go now into detail. All of the charts will be published on the website, and you will be able to understand who goes where and what the competition will be looking like once we reach the 16 finals.
That's right. And now that the road for the men's Challenge Cup is defined, we can now move on and find out the women's, their destination.
Yes, this is the last draw for today, Norisha, for you and overall. We start with the 32nd finals, and I would like to stress this out once more because that says a lot about the number of participating teams and the interest we have in contesting the European Cups and in playing internationally. We do have a number of teams to be drawn. These are exactly 18, those displayed on these charts. And they will be playing against 18 teams already seeded in the 32nd finals. So let's move on to the next chart, and then it will be time for you, Norisha, to start drawing the teams out of this cup.
Okay. Oh, that looks a lot fuller than that.
There we go. Norisha, let's go. And the first team that you will be drawing out of this cup will be playing against Lithuania's Kaunas VDU.
All right.
And as with all other competitions, those seeded teams who will be playing the second match at home, and Haifa VC of Israel will be playing against Kaunas VDU of Lithuania. Now, the next seeded team is a team with a lot of history. And some 10 years ago, they were a major force to reckon with, Azerail Baku. They are back, on the international stage. So let's see how their journey will be beginning in the Challenge Cup 2023.
And I will draw a welcoming gift for Baku. And that gift will be, let's see, Federico.
Let's see. It is the Slovakian team of Slavia EU Bratislava. We continue slowly but surely to fill in this chart, and we have Hapoel Kfar Saba of Israel as the next seeded team. They will be playing against El Pesalo of Finland. Many of you should remember this team as they played Champions League a couple of times. So they do have a strong background and they were multiple national champions in their country. This year they will be contesting the Challenge Cup. And speaking of teams that have been named, to reckon with in the Champions League, we have Veka Prostojov of the Czech Republic seeded next. So Norisha, it's still a long way to finish this draw, but we will be getting there.
Slowly but surely.
So it's ATSC Klagenfurt of Austria. The next seeded team is Holte EF, the only Danish team contesting the European Cups this year across all competitions and between men and women. So let's go ahead. Hosting the Danish team and then traveling to Denmark will be...
I'm so glad you have to read this.
That's the Austrian team of VB Niederösterreich Sokolpost.
Good job.
Thank you. The next seeded team is Hebar of Montenegro. So hosting Bar and then traveling to Montenegro will be Sliedrecht Sport of the Netherlands. A team that used to play even in the early rounds of the Champions League. It's going to be interesting, these two games.
Yeah.
OK Gacko of Bosnia and Herzegovina is the next seeded team in this chart. Norisha, let's continue and get the job done. And it is the Webster Cup winner, so the winner of this club competition organized by the Western European Volleyball Zonal Association.
What you mentioned earlier before.
Yeah. Legionovia SA of Poland is next among the seeded teams. Welcoming the Polish team and then traveling to Poland will be ASP Tetis Vola of Greece. We continue. And we have a seeded team that you should remember from your competitive years, Norisha.
Actually, I do. When I played with Bolero, we played against Pfeffingen quite a few times.
That is correct. So let's find out who they will be playing against in the 32nd finals of the Challenge Cup.
Okay. All right, Pfeffingen. Here we go. Their opponent.
So to play against Pfeffingen is Panathinaikos Athens of Greece. This is going to be a hard nut to crack.
Yes.
And very competitive matches for the two teams from Greece and Switzerland. Okay. The next seeded team is the only Latvian team in the European Cups this year, Rigas Volejbola Škola. Please, let's go ahead.
We are getting there, Federico.
Yeah, it's the second half of the draw, and it's Veka Brusno of Slovakia. We have a team from Cyprus next on the line, Apeldoorn Limassol. They are seeded, so they will be playing the second match at home. Let's continue our draw. And they will be playing against Žok Ub of Serbia. Next is a team from the Netherlands, Apollo 8 Borne. They are seeded, so they will be also hosting the second match at their home. So to play against Apollo Borne is FC Porto of Portugal. We are approaching the end, Norisha, of this draw, and we have CEST Rapid Bucuresti of Romania seeded next. Who is taking position number 25, and that's
that team will be
Tent Obrenovac of Serbia. And now the tension will be mounting again in this room as we have a representative of the Luxembourgish team of Walfer. So, Narisha, your turn to define how their journey will be looking like.
All right, here we go. For Luxembourg.
So, hosting RSR Walfer and then coming to Luxembourg to play the return match is Asker Steel Volleys Lindsteg of Austria. The next seeded team represents Norway. It's BK Tromsø. It's one of two Norwegian teams in the Women's European Cups this year. And they will be playing against Oka Herceg-Novi of Montenegro. 3 balls left and 3 seeded teams left, so that makes sense. And we have UKF Nitra of Slovakia seeded, and the next team that you will be drawing out of this cup will be playing against the Slovakians.
And let's find out what team that will be.
So against Nitra we'll have Randaberg IL of Norway. Next to last among the seeded teams is Kairos Ponta Delgada of Portugal. So, Narisha. 2 balls left. And who is going to make the journey to Portugal?
For the warm weather and the beautiful climate.
And that's
Is
TS Volley Düdingen of Switzerland. Last but not least, and we are done for today, and your shoulder is done for today as well.
I know.
To play against the Belgian team of Chapelle-les-Erlemont.
And that is, drum roll please. Brrr. And that
is the winner of the BVA Cup, so the club competition hosted by the Balkan Volleyball Association. The name of this team will be known by mid-September. So, Narisha, that concludes the draw for the 32nd finals, but let me just mention that the 18 winners of this round will be joining 14 teams already seeded into the 16 finals.
That's right.
And the chart will be shown in a moment. And that's actually the way to the road to the finals. So there are no more interconnections between competitions, no more drawing of lots. So that's the way, the competition is going to continue all the way through to the medal matches.
Federico, you have to say it one more time. That.
I hope that was clear enough.
And that they can find the rest of the information
Yes,
online.
and all of the information, is available on the CV website. As soon as the DOL is over, we will be publishing all of these charts, and people can have an understanding of who is who and how the competition will evolve from round to round.
That's right. Now that concludes the drawing of lots for all of the European Cups 2023, and as I said, until later, until for the Champions League, until the 16th of September. But before we end, I would like to say a big thank you to the team who worked very hard to put this drawing of lots together. As the team that works behind the scenes, they sweat day and night to prepare this. Thank you very much for that. And also a big thank you to the broadcasting team here from the center. Thank you very much for your hard work. And Federico, thank you. Thank you very much. Really, it's always a pleasure to work together with you. And thank you for pronouncing the names of the teams, and giving me the easy part.
I've been practicing a lot.
No, but it's really always a pleasure to work together with you and both teams that are here today. And another thank you to Melise. And we want to wish you all... Oh, do you have any words that you would like to say?
Well, I would like to emphasize that people who don't follow the social media channels of the CEV as of today, they should start doing that now. Mm-hmm. And then over to you. And we look forward to the next COL. Yeah. And and so we wish you all stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next time we meet, stay filled with joy and lots of love. So have a nice afternoon. Bye.